What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out how US Navy strikes mine-laying ships in the Strait of Hormuz. This is by AI Telly. We've watched a few of the videos of AI Telly now. Actually, a couple of them about the situation going on in Iran. I think the first time we watched one of their videos was back when the US bombed Iran in December. They're fantastic. They're really, really good. You know me, I like to support these channels that are genuinely fantastic. They're at 1.95 million subscribers, and I believe that with the link in the description, if a bunch of you go over there, we can get them to 2 million subscribers. So head over to AI Telly, give them some love. They genuinely deserve it. Some of their videos are phenomenal. I wanted to watch this video. It actually is recent. I wanted to watch this video because, in fact, before we get started, check out Chug, 10% off, link down below for the best drinking vessel in the world. Handmade here in the UK by a small business using sustainable materials. You get free customization, free bag, and ships around the world. Ships all over the place. It's a great bit of kit. You can take the middle part out, right, and protect your wood by putting this in the dishwasher. So you can protect your wood. Always protect your wood, guys, okay? What you've got to do. It's what you've got to do. Also, if you haven't seen already, I started a business, a drinks brand called Morale, and it's all about getting people outside, disconnecting from the online world and reconnecting with the real world. And when the news is like it is right now around the world, sometimes it's good to get outside and touch some grass. All right? So drink some Morale, link down below, and go touch some grass. Okay, I saw this video of a tanker that basically tried to get through the Strait of I nearly said hummus then. I do love me some hummus, but this is the Strait of Hormuz. Hormuz. Boom, look at that. So they've laid mines out, apparently. Oh, it's an absolute shit show, isn't it? Good God. Wow. So, yeah, I saw this video, and then ultimately, my days. Looks like people have survived, which is good. Ultimately, it made me want to watch this video by AI Telly. So again, there'll be a link down below to the OG video. Go check that out. Let's put subbies on. Let's watch this.
How the Strait of Hormuz turned into a minefield. Well, the threats hiding in the water range from your classic, old-school contact mines to highly advanced bottom mines that actually listen for the acoustic signatures of passing vessels.
It's crazy. These mines have been used since like World War II, and they're still getting used now. Mental, innit?
But to enforce a blockade right in the middle of a vital global shipping lane. The IRGC is basically rolling the clock back to World War II attack boats. They're dropping massive anti-ship mines to create a dead zone blockade. So, how do you fight a weapon you can't even see?
True.
Well, if you're US Central Command, you don't fight them in the water at all. You use preemptive strikes.
Oh.
A tactical play here is to take out the mine-laying ships while they're sitting ducks at the dock.
So for those of you who don't know, one of my jobs when I was in the Marines was to do anti-piracy, and we specifically were on a survey ship that was checking out the ground in this area. Now, I wasn't allowed to know what they were looking for. They just said to me, they're checking out the ground and they're surveying the ground. That's all they told me. My job was just to protect the ships and do anti-piracy. That's literally what my job was. But you know they were doing so. They were up to something. They wouldn't tell me what it was. I wonder if it was... I wouldn't have been looking for mines because this was a different time. This is in 2010, 2011. So, yeah, who knows? But, you know, they're probably doing something similar out there right now.
Completely level the factories storing the munitions. Just look at this battle footage. Here are the mine-laying vessels getting hit by Hellfire missiles long before they ever get the chance to pose a threat. This is Strait of Hormuz. It's a massive global choke point, handling roughly 20% of the world's daily oil supply. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps threatening that not even a single leader will reach their enemies. But how do you actually pull that off, especially when your Navy has just lost more than 50 of its prized warships? The answer is simple. You go old school. You bring back World War II-style tactics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's World War II.
Instead of relying on massive, easy-to-target destroyers, the IRGC Navy uses a swarm of fast inshore attack craft. We're talking about incredibly quick, small fiberglass boats, classes like the Ashura, the Turek, and heavily modified Bog Hammer speedboats.
Interesting.
But how do these speedboat attack U.S. warship? The Islamic
The animations that AI Telly have are phenomenal, aren't they?
Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy operates hundreds of small, fast attack craft armed with heavy machine guns, rockets, and anti-ship missiles. The tactic here is simple, but deadly. Instead of trying to fight a U.S. destroyer one-on-one, which they would lose, they deploy dozens of small boats simultaneously from every direction. The goal is to overwhelm the U.S. ship's defensive systems, like the phalanx, by presenting more targets than the ship can track and destroy at once.
Yeah.
And they don't stop at military hardware. They actively deploy dual-use craft. To the untrained eye, these look like everyday fishing dhows or commercial trawlers, but underneath, they're secretly outfitted for covered military ops. So how exactly do these tiny boats deploy heavy naval mines? Since they are dedicated, large-scale mine layers, you won't find any high-tech, automated track systems here. Their methods are incredibly low-tech, but in a tight bottleneck like the Strait of Hormuz, they are lethally effective. It usually comes down to the stern drop method. The mines are simply strapped to the back deck of a small boat. Once they get their target coordinates, the crew literally just rolls or pushes these massive explosives.
I wouldn't want that job. Pushing them things? Any moment they could just go off? Oh, how'd you get pinged for that job? Imagine just being sat on base. Boss comes round. Lads, all right, we've got some duties for the lads. Everyone listen. You're like, oh, okay. I've got guard duty or something like that. All right, Marine Jillings, you're going to be pushing mines off the back of these little speedy boats. I'm going to be like, fuck. What a shit day.
Right off the stern and into the water. Some of the slightly larger boats might have basic metal rails to help slide them off, but really that's about it. This bare-bones setup is absolutely perfect for hit-and-run tactics. The whole strategy relies on speed and stealth. A small speedboat can dart right into the busy shipping lanes, hide under the cover of darkness, or just blend in with regular civilian traffic. They drop 2 or 3 mines in a matter of seconds and then floor it back to the safety of the Iranian coastline, long before heavy U.S. warships can even get a lock on them.
Wow.
And the weapons themselves. These little boats are tapping into an estimated Iranian stockpile of anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 devices. They drop everything from simple contact mines, which float near the surface and explode on impact, to advanced bottom mines. Those sink to the shallow seafloor and just wait, patiently listening to detonate the second they detect the acoustic signature of a...
It's crazy because once this is over with, these are all going to have to be cleared up. These are all going to have to be collected and disposed of. And this is the problem we have in Ukraine right now, where there's so many mines being put down that once this conflict's over, civvies are still going to be getting hurt years to come. This is just the way it's going to be. And it's really sad, isn't it, really?
Passing supertanker. How the U.S. is using the preemptive capability destructions to strike the 16 mine-laying ships. This is strategy 1. Instead of waiting for the mines to hit the water, which would force dangerous mine clearance operations right under enemy fire, the U.S. took action first. They struck the vessels before they could even deploy. It's a textbook preemptive denial strategy. Destroy the enemy's means of attack before they ever get the chance to use it. Here comes strategy number 2, intelligence coup precision targeting. This strike wasn't a guess. It was the direct result of highly actionable intelligence on Iran's operational plans. The U.S. layered signals intelligence from RC-135, maritime surveillance from P-8 Poseidons, and human intelligence. This allowed them to pinpoint exactly which vessels were the mine layers where they were parked and exactly when they were most vulnerable. That brings us to...
It's not only that, like, they probably have intel from behind the scenes as well, being like, okay, what boat has actually got this stuff on? Because if you think about it, there's probably a lot of civvy ships in that area. In fact, I remember there being quite a lot of civilian ships. And so you've got to distinguish between legitimate civvies and non-civvies. So, I mean, it's quite obvious. When you're on boat, it's quite obvious. You would be on the boat, and it's obvious who is up to no good and who's not. You can just feel that vibe. But when you're in the sky, it's a bit different, that, isn't it? You're not getting that same vibe. You're not locking eyes with someone in the distance on a boat, and you don't have that weird feeling. If you were in the military, you know what I'm talking about. But in the sky, I don't know if that works, does it?
Strategy number 3, striking vessels while moored. Most of these targets were actually docked at the time of the attack. Hitting a stationary ship is infinitely easier, safer, and more precise than hunting down a moving target out on the open ocean. Plus, it completely eliminates the risk of a missed shot causing an unintended international incident in a heavily trafficked strait.
Boom.
Strategy number 4 is the dual target doctrine. By hitting both the mine-laying vessels and the mine storage facilities at the exact same time, the operation guaranteed that even if replacement boats were available, there wouldn't be any ordnance left to arm them. It's a layered approach designed to maximize the strategic impact of a single coordinated operation. The US didn't just use one weapon, they threw the entire playbook at the Mosquito fleet. They used Hellfire missiles fired from drones against small boats, and launched long-range cruise missiles from Navy destroyers right off the coast. And to finish the job, heavy strategic command bombers dropped massive 2,000-pound, GPS-guided bunker busters to completely wipe out the boats while they were still sitting in their storage facilities.
It does make me wonder what the cost of this war has been so far. How much, because obviously the US has spent an insane amount of money on this so far, like a crazy amount. It does make me wonder how much. We must be in the hundreds of millions at this point, right? And so are we looking at the billions now? Do you reckon we're in the billion? Probably, to be fair, it's the American industrial complex. Each missile is like $1 trillion. I'm exaggerating, obviously. But it must be in the billions at this point. And so how sustainable is that? Let me know in the comments.
This is a US Central Command combat footage where a Hellfire missile engaging enemy mine-laying vessels. Pausing on this still image confirms its identity as a Hellfire, a munition frequently deployed from this MQ-9 Reaper drone. This vessel is one of 16 destroyed by this type of munition. It underscores a crucial point. Understanding how these small missiles operate is key to understanding how they turn the tide of a conflict and destroy a small navy with a small drone.
Wow.
Let's take a look inside and see exactly how they fire these missiles. He uses a thumbstick to zoom in on a heat signature, locking onto the target. When he's ready, there's a trigger button just below the joystick.
Is this actually how it's done? I guess it's a drone, so it's done from afar, isn't it?
Guiding it directly to its intended target. These enemy targets firing at the MQ-9 reappear, clearly lit up on the screen, as you can see here. Even for civilians, there are countless bad actors targeting our computers, which is why we need a defense mechanism. Just like the MQ-9 multi-target radar system.
Oh, got a little segue into an ad here. Well done, that was a pretty good segue, that
but
AI
how
teller.
did this small missile could successfully track and hit the speedboat? Let's take a look at Hellfire missile tracking and guidance. The AGM-114 Hellfire missile is a precision weapon guided either by semi-active laser or millimeter wave radar.
Okay, guesstimates on how much one of these costs. It's got to be over $1 million, right? It's got to be over $1 million. A single missile, do you reckon? What's it called again? I don't know if it's going to say it. The AGM-114 Hellfire. Let me Google this. Let me Google this. I'm going to see how much it costs. How much does it cost to make a AGM 114 Hellfire missile? Let's have a look. Oh, okay, it's not that bad. 150,000 to 200,000 per unit. I thought it'd be more than that. I got all excited thinking it would be millions, but I guess not. Yeah, about 150,000 per unit. The problem is the amount they've fired.
This means it can accurately lock onto and follow targets, even ones moving quickly on water, like a speedboat. The MQ-9 Reaper drone uses advanced onboard sensors and targeting pods to continuously track the boat, sending real-time information to the missile after it has been launched.
Wow.
The drone's sophisticated systems can calculate the boat's speed, direction, and maneuvers, allowing the missile's guidance to predict where the boat will be and adjust its flight path to hit the target. Speed and maneuverability matching.
Science.
Hellfire missiles travel at speeds greater than Mach 1, over 760 miles per hour.
What was that missile that was used? We watched a video, I think it was the last video we watched, where they shot down an aircraft and there was a missile that went over Mach 4, I think it was, which blows my mind. Someone can let me know what that was in the comments and how much it costs to fire one of them.
1,225 kilometers per hour, which far outpaces the speed of the boat. This allows the missile to quickly close the
just a bit. Outspeeds the boat just by a couple miles per hour.
distance and make fine adjustments during its flight to strike a moving target. The missile's guidance system is designed to compensate for evasive maneuvers by tracking the reflected laser or radar signals bouncing off the boat. It continuously adjusts for changes in direction and speed as it hones in on the target.
Oh my God. Imagine being on one of them boats in the middle of absolute nowhere and you see that thing coming at you at Mach 1. You and the lads are on the boat and you just see it in the distance and you're like, lads, it's been a pleasure. You crack open one last beer. Oh my God. Done. It's done. In fact, before that beer even touches your lips, that Hellfire missile has hit and you are a floater in the water. Fuming. Can't even finish your beer.
With the MQ-9 Reaper drone's continuous real-time tracking enable the missile to accurately follow, anticipate, and destroy a fast-moving boat traveling at speeds up to 69 miles per hour.
Nice.
When you add it all up, the U.S. has taken out over 60 warships and submarines in a span of just 10 days. First up is the Joshin.
Good God.
When this Iranian fast attack craft approached a U.S. surface action group, it fired a U.S.-made Harpoon missile, a remnant from pre-revolution armed sails. The U.S. cruiser U.S. Wainwright successfully evaded it using electronic countermeasures and chaff. The U.S. ships instantly returned fire.
What's chaff? Sounds like something you get when you're running.
Sinking the Joshin in what became the world's first
ever
German
flag on
between warships. Then came the Sahand.
What's the Germans
this
done
Iranian
recently?
frigate sailed out to challenge the U.S. fleet and.
Why do you have a German flag? Look at this.
Then came the Sahand. This Iranian frigate sailed out to challenge the U.S. fleet and fired at passing aircraft. The response was immediate. Navy attack jets and the destroyer USS Joseph Strauss swarmed the vessel, pummeling the Sahand with missiles and heavy bombs until it caught fire and ultimately sank after its own munitions detonated.
Boom.
Later that same afternoon, a third ship, the Sabalin, tried its luck. The frigate
Sabalin.
fired a surface-to-air missile at a U.S. jet.
Oh.
The pilot simply dodged the missile, looped right back around, and dropped a 500-pound laser-guided bomb directly down the ship's exhaust stack.
That's a bad miss. You missed that jet, you're done. You got one chance, one shot, one opportunity. And you missed.
The internal explosion completely crippled the vessel. The overarching goal behind all of this was to secure the Strait of Hormuz, the single most critical choke point for global oil. We make original videos from scratch and animated by humans, so please subscribe to not miss a beat.
Animated by humans. I know it's called AI Teller, but they do put the work in. I will leave a link down below to the OG video. Make sure you go over there, subscribe. They're at 1.95 million subscribers. Let's get them to 2 mil. They deserve it. The coverage of the Iran war is phenomenal, so go support them if you haven't already. Check out Chug, 10% off, link down below. Go touch some grass and drink some morale outside. And let me know what you think in the comments. Is this over with soon? Is the US still winning? Or is it going on a bit longer than the US would like? And Iran might actually be starting to get some ground. Let me know what you think in the comments. Other than that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.